The greening of Mid-Michigan evolved from a recent collaborative effort by community leaders from Ingham, Eaton, and Clinton counties. Their vision for a greener Mid-Michigan centers on 4 areas. First, conserving farmlands to provide a strong economy, healthy environment, and access to locally grown foods. Second, linking communities and neighborhoods across the region with non-motorized transportation and recreation opportunities to promote healthy lifestyles. Third, providing a quality of life that makes Mid-Michigan an outstanding place to live, work, invest, learn, and play. And finally, developing and restoring park and recreation opportunities, including repurposing abandoned industrial sites. But before we see what progress is being made, we should be sure to define greening.
I don't really know what greening means. Maybe you're trying to put more green space out in places.
I don't have the slightest idea.
Greening to me means an awakening of awareness in the community to understanding that there's a relationship that we need to nurture with the earth.
It's a philosophy and it's a lifestyle.
To me, it's being able to preserve our resources and be able to share those with as many people as possible.
Today we'll be looking across Mid-Michigan at greening in action. We'll be looking at repurposed industrial sites that provide us trails and parks. We'll be looking at how our food is grown, who grows it, and how it supports our local economy. We'll be thinking about how every citizen can safeguard the water and the soil that sustains us. And we'll be thinking about how we work together as communities to provide healthy lifestyles across the Mid-Michigan area. Let's take a visit to Clinton County's Motes Park to learn about repurposing an abandoned industrial site that's provided a tremendous park for Mid-Michigan residents.
The opportunity came along to acquire a former gravel sand operation, a quarry, and we thought this would be a great way to repurpose a piece of property that had an industrial use and return it to a more natural state, and that would bring benefit to people and wildlife. Some of the challenges we face, however, is when you dig a hole in the ground, you have gradients. Some are pretty steep, some are above water where you can work with them, but some are below water. And certainly if you're going to put in a swimming area or water recreation, you've got to be cognizant of the fact that you have deep water drop-offs close to shore. So we worked with the property owner to remove most of those, and then when we constructed the new swimming beach, we actually dewatered the 15-acre lake, put in a 6% safe gradient, and layered it with sand. The Mid-Michigan area is an area that doesn't have a lot of water resources, and this was an opportunity to have a water resource that not only had good depth, that was all groundwater fed, so we had good hygienic water for recreation, but that was our goal, was to have a public major regional park that would serve outdoor recreation-based needs.
Well, Hawkeye Park originally was an abandoned gravel pit, had been unused for decades. And over the years, people had been dumping a lot of their yard waste and gravel and dirt in the facility, and we were very fortunate back in the mid-90s to have the opportunity to purchase this property from the original owner. And through the assistance of grants through the Department of Natural Resources Trust Fund, we were able to leverage what money the county had at that time with the grant money to purchase the property. And then again, with more grant funding, we were able to develop the facility to what it is today. The most important thing for us and for the state through the DNR was to continue to provide access to water. And having a water resource in the city of Lansing was remarkable. And to have this opportunity was just a blessing for everybody, just the residents of not just Ingham County, but the surrounding counties, because we do receive a lot of visitation from the entire region.
Being 100 acres, it's surprising how much natural areas we do have. We have a Sycamore Creek, which runs along the west side of the park, that will let water from the pond into the river. We also have an area that's a wetland in this facility. Just to the north, we have Scott Woods, which is probably one of the oldest wood stands in the Lansing area. It's quite a diverse environment. That's one of the unique things about Hawkeye is you have areas that are real active use, but yet you can go 300 yards away and feel like you're in the middle of nowhere.
Well, the Hawkeye Island does offer a lot of variety for folks. We do have a wonderful lake here. It's about 30 acres in size, and we offer swimming with a guarded beach, and so we're open during the summer for those activities. And we have boating with rowboats and pedal boats and awesome fishing at this facility. And then we have a lot of the traditional park activities. We have picnicking and volleyball, and as you can see in the behind me, we have a lot of kids out enjoying an activity with their friends today. So it offers a little bit for everybody.
Well, actually, I think it's nice for the children. It's a nice park where you can come and, you know, do a family-related gathering. I love it. I really enjoyed it.
We've been using Hawkeye Island Park for the last 5 years. We enjoy it very much. Lots of stuff for the kids to do and the older people too.
Yeah, it's a beautiful facility. There's a lot to do. Our kids are going to be able to use the water park, take the walks on the long trails. We had a couple kickball games earlier. So it's just a really great place for our kids and our families to come and get along with each other and have a good time.
So we have a number of 5K runs, benefits for different charities, and then some really unique ones. We actually have what's the Hawkeye Tri, which is in their 5th year, and a very large event now. It's known around the country as one of the better events in the country, and it's based out of this facility where we do the swimming, and then they bike around the area, and then the 5K run is, again, around this facility and finishes here, and draws people from neighboring states, and we've even had people from other countries come all the way to Hawkeye Island to enjoy this.
Another park that's been repurposed in mid-Michigan is Eaton County's Lincoln Brick Park. It has its own challenges with preserving the history of the 100-year-old Lincoln Brick Factory.
Well, this is an exciting park just north of the Grand River in Grand Ledge, Michigan. And you're looking at the Lincoln Brick site, and it's a great historic site that celebrates the history of Michigan, primarily in the limestone business, stone quarry, one of the outstanding manufacturing things that go back into the early 1900s. Well, we've retained basically the site. These are the ruins. We've protected them for maybe around almost 40 years to date when we acquired the property. And the wilderness atmosphere here is very, very compatible. You would imagine you're in the middle of a major forest someplace, and we're just a mile from downtown Grand Ledge. And adjacent to us is a stone quarry that's been refurbished and remodeled, I guess, into a swimming and fishing area. So we have a combination of history and manufacturing and Michigan advances over probably the last 100 years. I think there's an obligation that probably we haven't done very well in past years of marketing what we have.
Well, we've been very fortunate here in Ingham County that the city of Lansing has been easy to work with, and we've got a lot of cooperative efforts. They have a lot of the same goals that we have. We want to be able to provide the best facilities possible to our constituents, our guests.